Why do some European cities have ladders built specifically for cats? It is not a trend. It is not an architectural whim. It is a practical response to an everyday problem. How to allow an animal to move freely, even while living in an apartment building. And this is where a broader story begins. In countries such as Switzerland, Germany, and Austria, these unusual structures are not so rare. They are part of the urban landscape, and they tell much more than it seems, not only about love for animals, but about how a society chooses to coexist, adapt, and care. Anyone who lives with a cat knows it. For them, height is not a whim, it is a necessity. Climbing means observing, controlling, feeling safe. In urban environments, however, this need collides with reality. Multi-story buildings, high windows, inner courtyards, busy streets. In many cities of the German-speaking area, the response has been surprisingly concrete, creating external ladders that allow cats to enter and exit independently. There are no standard models. Each building finds its own solution, case by case. These ladders are not part of the original building designs. They are almost always handcrafted additions, built over time and adapted to the available space. Wood, metal, improvised steps. Some follow straight lines, others break into irregular angles. Some appear temporary, others so integrated that they seem to have always been there. Observing them, one gets the impression that each ladder tells a small, everyday story, a compromise between existing architecture and the needs of an animal. From an architectural point of view, these structures are an exception. They do not follow rigid aesthetic rules. They have no codified style, yet they are rarely intrusive. They adapt to buildings, respect shared spaces, coexist with windows, balconies, and gardens. It is a form of informal architecture born from the bottom up, not designed to be beautiful, designed to function. In cultures traditionally attentive to order and civil coexistence, such as those of German-speaking Europe, this flexibility stands out even more. In countries such as Switzerland and Germany, the relationship with pets is strongly linked to the concept of well-being. Not only care, but quality of life. For many cat owners, this means allowing freedom of movement without giving up safety. The ladders thus become an ethical solution even before a practical one. They are not mandatory, they are not showy, but they allow the animal to choose, to go out, to come back, to explore. There is also a curious aspect. Many of these ladders, unintentionally, become strong visual elements, oblique lines that break geometric facades, irregular paths on symmetrical walls. They are not conceived as works of art. And precisely for this reason, they appear authentic. They are marks left by everyday life, not by design. Looking at these ladders, it becomes natural to ask a question. What do they say about those who built them? They speak of attention, of time devoted, of a coexistence that accepts modifying the environment to include another living being. None of these ladders is necessary for a human being, and this is precisely the key detail. In increasingly standardized cities, these small structures remind us that urban space can be flexible, shared, adaptable, not through grand symbolic gestures, but through quiet, everyday choices. So it is worth asking, how many invisible solutions exist around us, created not for convenience, but for care? And had you ever noticed something similar in your city? Tell us in the comments.